Welcome to video number 6. We're going to talk about how to build your Facebook fan page, basically deepen the relationship with your viewers, and of course build your Facebook fan page so that you have more traffic coming towards it. Now, by video 5, you've already set up your Facebook ad campaign. You're starting to drive traffic to your Facebook fan page, but you want to get more traffic through other means. And how do you do that? Well, with social networking and social media, unfortunately, you do have to do a little more relationship building, networking, and things like that. So you do need to take a little more time out of your schedule to do this. Now, if you're busy like me, you don't really have time to go into every single niche, spend several hours a day building relationships. You can still set up your Facebook fan page and your company, but you can outsource this type of stuff. In fact, let me tell you a secret that I use, that I have found that works very well. What I do is I normally go on odesk.com. The nice thing about odesk.com is you can find people, especially in the Philippines, who are willing to spend several hours a day. You know, you can be paying anywhere from $1.67 to $2.70 an hour, or even $2.22. Generally, I try to look for people in the range of $2.22 or less. The cheaper, the better, but you definitely want somebody who knows what they're talking about. Generally, what I find is I try to look for people who are passionate about whatever niche I am trying to promote. For example, Ultimate Frisbee. I definitely would probably want to find somebody who's actually interested in Ultimate Frisbee. So technically, you could use even Google Trends. Remember, you saw Canada, Singapore, places like that. Now, if you're going to outsource to Canada or Singapore, you might not necessarily be able to find somebody who wants to maintain your social media for you for $2 an hour. So it's a give and take there. You're just going to have to find somebody who is possibly passionate about whatever niche you're trying to get into. So you kind of get an idea here that the goal here is to find people who are interested in basically customer support, people that are interested in administrative support, and they like to do social media type stuff. They like to sit around and build relationships. They're actually happy about doing this type of stuff. Now, I have a lady, for example, that actually goes out, for example, on Twitter and even Facebook, goes out, finds people, and starts adding them, for example, here to Facebook fan page. Now, in order for this to work, you have to connect your Facebook fan page to a profile that specifically relates to this niche. So, for example, what I could do is I could set up a Ultimate Frisbee Facebook profile, and then I can give that information to the person that I'm outsourcing this to. They could use that. They could go to Frisbee groups. They could go on Facebook and type in like Frisbee. And then I could tell them, okay, I want you to go on Facebook. I want you to search for Frisbee, Ultimate Frisbee, join all these places. Start talking to people as much as possible. You like the group so that you can get into the group and then start talking to people and just start adding friends after friends after friends. Now, the key to actually making this work is to build relationships and not just say, hey, buy my product, but actually talk to them, get in their lives and talk about what they like, what they don't like. But of course, you probably don't have, like me, you don't have a lot of time to do that. You're just working a few hours a day, so you don't have a lot of time to do this. You gotta be working on other things. So you can outsource this type of stuff. But in order for this to work, you need to find people that are actually passionate about what they do. And a lot of people will say, oh, I can figure that out easily. But you can even use the demographics. Okay, it was mostly male, maybe somebody in college or graduate or things like that. And most times, if they're passionate about what they do, they will charge you less because they get to do what they actually like to do. Let's talk about what they like, which is Ultimate Frisbee or anything else. So that's just one thing I wanted to talk about But in order for this to work, remember, is number one, you need a profile that deals with that niche. So a profile for that niche, and then you create the Facebook fan page, and then that way you can manage that. Then you add a bunch of friends to your page, and then you basically advertise, or you introduce them to the page or suggest friends to this page. So for every Facebook fan page, you can suggest friends. So for your page, if you click on suggest to friends, you will have the ability to suggest only to the people on your friends list. And that's why I say create a different niche profile. So that's another great way to bring lots and lots of traffic back to your Facebook fan page. But like I said, outsource it because it's a lot easier, saves you time, and saves you money in the long run.